Hey guys, and welcome back to another Jay the One-Eyed Gamer. We are still on the E3 hype train. Today we're going to be talking about Sony. If you missed it, you can check out our Microsoft rundown, hopefully in the little eye icon above our heads right now. But today we're going to be talking about Sony, and joining me again is my good friend DragonMan, please.
Yes, hello, I'm DragonMan. I'm also known as Mike, so if you hear me, you hear Jay over here, refer to me as that, you'll know exactly why.
And if you were able to hear him, congratulations without having to turn up the mic.
Hi guys, it's me. Sorry, I was trying out my ASMR voice.
Not on my channel, you're not.
I'm gonna try to change my channel, change the direction, go an entirely different way.
Anyway, we're going to talk about Sony today.
Yeah,
and
that's what we're here for today.
Yep, we're here to talk about Sony. And what Sony's doing a little different than Microsoft is, instead of, I think, having a traditional conference, they're going to focus on 4 main titles from their own company. So they're going to be first-party original games, and they're going to be, in order from us talking to them, Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yeah, you got it this
Yeah,
time.
I got it this time. Last of Us 2, and please, I can't say it.
Death Stranding.
Oh, God.
I hear there's a new guy on it. We're gonna love it. We're gonna talk about it. But
yeah, it's got Seabean in it.
Yeah. Totally new guy who's creating it. But we're gonna have to talk about Spider-Man first.
Yes,
a game
thank
we
God.
all hate and we don't want to talk about. And then there was Dead Air, and
I know,
you
right?
proved me right. But yeah, Spider-Man looks really great. I got a side rant about that. Amazon, could you actually put that thing for pre-order? Because I'd like to pre-order it. Although I might wait till after E3. Maybe that'll come back up. Who knows?
And maybe they'll have a collector's edition after E3 too.
Yeah, they actually already have it out, but
They do?
they don't have it for pre-order because all it says is, hey, email me. I'm sorry, I'm angry. I want to pre-order this game and Amazon is hurting me.
It does look good. I think we've only seen, one gameplay
Yes.
trailer of it. They haven't shown off anything else, but from what we can understand, so far it's going to be like a typical Spider-Man game, swinging around, New York. We don't know how big it is, or have they said how big it is?
I don't think they said so, but they have suggested that, we will be able to go through all of New York. Marvel's New York.
And from what I understand is, it's going to take place when Peter's in college, so he's already pretty familiar with his powers, so that means it's not going to be the typical, usual, like, high school Peter where you have to figure this stuff out.
Yeah,
And Miles Morales is going to be in it, too.
Because they hinted at him at the end of the trailer.
I don't know if it'll be playable.
I don't think it'll be playable. Or, maybe if they'll reach back into the nostalgia basket and they'll be like, remember when you could have, like, different skins and things like that? They already have that in the game.
Yeah, they even talked about how you can get the pre-order game costumes in actual game, which I think is nice, and I think other companies should do.
Yeah, because you can get the, what is that, Infinity Wars version.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't feel so good, Mr. J.
You're not disappearing on me now, man. I didn't snap my fingers yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, I can't wait for that game. It's gonna be really great. It reminds me of kind of the old school, Spider-Man game with a little bit of Arkham, stylings.
Yeah, it'd be pretty interesting to see how this game comes out. I mean, Sony's been talking about it for the last 2 years, and we're finally going to get it in September?
September 7th.
Yeah, so we don't have that long to wait, so hopefully when they show us more of the Spider-Man game, we'll get a more gameplay trailer and maybe something new, like maybe a boss fight.
Although it does throw me off every single time that Sasuke Uchiha is voicing it.
You love Yuri Lowenthal, okay?
I do, but it throws me off every time.
That man is a treasure, and you will continue to love him.
I feel like at any moment he's about to be like, Chidori! And then knock somebody over.
Listen, I'm gonna fire style your ass. Oh man, we are pure weebs.
But talking about fire style, there was this great place called Tsushima, and it was burned down.
Oh my god.
And now you get to play a ghost from that area. I believe that's all we've learned about that game, and I think it's going to be great.
Has anyone ever told you your segues are awesome?
Sometimes.
Yes, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
I said it right again.
Yeah. We're going to start messing it up now, calling it Sushimi again.
Just shut up. But we're going to talk about that game, and this is literally the one game, besides the other game, we don't really know a lot about, because it was just shown off at last year's really bad PlayStation experience. Like, guys, if you watched last year's PlayStation experience, I'm pretty sure we can all agree it was not that great. I was watching Maximilian's stream, and he was, like, literally playing with chairs, like, spinning them around, and that was more entertaining than the actual press event itself, so that's saying something. But what came out of there was the trailer for Ghost of Tsushima, and it was pretty good. It was all CG, clearly none game, because I think it was too early to show off any in-game like development.
Yeah, but I think they kind of, at the end of it, they at least hinted at what the gameplay might be like, and extrapolating, again, speculation, understand that we're not, fortune seers, we can't see in the future, we have no access to it, so from what I can see is it seems to be that you're going to be playing a ninja, because that's the way he kind of sets himself up. He's wearing the, darker armor, it's more stealth-based, the idea behind ghosts usually, when they talk about, at least in the military terms, is this idea of them, like, being sneaky, and usually associated with snipers and modern shooters and things like that. And so, I know in the trailer he's called Samurai, but, a modern myth that we have is that ninjas were their own thing and they were separated, but they weren't. They were just samurai, and they did a specific action that was, what we would consider more ninja. They were kind of just spies, or, sometimes they went out and did assassinations and things like that. But yeah, they were just samurai. So with this, I think you'll be playing that guy. He'll be probably doing kind of more stealth stuff. I think it'll be kind of like a combination of Assassin's Creed and maybe a little bit of Ninja Gaiden, because they'll be like, if you don't want to sneak, here's a nice, little like combo system. Or
yeah, I don't think it will go like crazy with the combo system though.
Yeah, they'll probably be trying to focus and try to get you to do that, but because it's Sucker Punch who's making the game, I feel like they'll be like, we're from Infamous, we have to kind of make a little bit of.
I think it's going to be interesting too to see, I think, the entire island itself, because I'm pretty sure they'll make that the entire focus.
Oh yeah.
And considering how good their games are, I mean, I haven't played a Sucker Punch game in forever, but I know you loved Infamous Second Son.
I enjoyed Second Son. Honestly, I think I enjoyed the other two Infamouses a little bit more. Second Son was interesting, but it kind of fell flat in some parts, but it was at least gameplay wise a great game.
I think it's going to be a big open world, like you'll be able to explore the entire island. I'm just curious how the story is going to set up, because this is set up during, like, I believe the first part of the Mongol invasion that took place.
I think so, yeah.
So I don't know if they'll let you go off of the island of Tsushima.
They, what they might do? They might just do that kind of, it's kind of a gaming trope where you're on the island the whole time, and then at the end of the game they unlock one area that's off the island where you can't return to it, or maybe you can, but there's nothing really there for you to do, and there's a boss battle, and you get rid of the, whoever the head of the Mongol horde is and things like that, and move on.
Yeah, but I think they're definitely going to go into detail about this game. I don't think it's going to come out this year. I feel like it's probably going to come out sometime next year.
That would probably be a better choice for them. I mean,
yeah,
if not 2019, if they don't release a date, then 2020, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I would say 2020 would probably be the latest they'd be doing that.
You know what? We'll probably get a stage.
Yeah, we'll probably get a demonstration of the game, because they'll probably have it play, and we'll finally be able to see, but I don't think it will be close to the finished product. And then with that, we'll move on to, I know, a game that a lot of people like, my friend here included, along with one of our other friends, and that is The Last of Us 2. I didn't play The Last of Us. I only watched you guys, I think, once or twice play it when we hung out. I know about the ending because you and our other friend have a very strong opinions on the ending of the first game.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start off with spoilers. For the ending of the first game. It's how it'll deal with the second game itself. The way the first game ends, Joel makes a decision about what they're gonna do with Ellie, because Ellie, her whole point as a character is that she's supposed to be this, Christ character, as a Jesus savior character. She's supposed to sacrifice herself for the entire world. Think like Harry Potter. And at the end of the game, Joel being selfish, it is nice to see because his character develops and he grows an attachment to her. In a selfish decision, he decides, no, she's not going to make that sacrifice. And when he does that, he takes her onto the other side, and after he saves her, and, she says, oh, well, what happened, and so on and so forth. And he lies to her and says, well, it turns out that it couldn't happen. You actually couldn't cure the world. And he lies, basically saying about the vagueness of what happened at the end of the world, what happened with all the people. And, there's this kind of hint where she's kind of skeptical about it. And in the second game, what a lot of people speculated, which I think is still in there a little bit, is that she's gonna probably find out that Joel lied to her, and then that'll probably be the culmination of the third game, is her deciding how she gets revenge against Joel. But I think that'll be what the second game is about, is her figuring out, because it sounds like she wants revenge. We don't know why she wants revenge or who she wants revenge against. And I think she's going to find out about how Joel basically wiped out the entire, I think they were Fireflies they were called. He wiped out the entire hospital that was there. So she's probably like trying to hunt down and figure out how that happened, what happened, because you can't, it's kind of hard to hide an entire building filled with people getting wiped out.
Yeah.
So,
and from what we've seen of the trailers so far, I think there's only been one actual trailer that might have in-game assets, and that was the one that was at PlayStation Experience.
yeah.
And I don't know much. I just know that from the trailer, there were 2 other people that looked like they were being hunted down because there were other bodies, I believe, hanging from trees, and this group of people were looking for them and I think killing them.
I can't remember exactly how the trailer goes, but from my understanding, there was a sort of cult they hinted at.
Yes, I believe so, and they were dragging this...
They were dragging the one to get
yes.
hung. I don't know if that was Ellie or if that was somebody else.
No, that was someone else, because Ellie shows up at the end of the trailer.
No, because the one girl, the Asian girl tries to save Ellie from being, hanged, and then there was another Asian character who came in a hood, a green hood, and sniped all the people who were... basically causing the execution to happen.
Yes, and and then she grabbed a hammer.
Yeah.
And then that's when I think the zombies of the game showed up, and that's where it cut off.
Yeah. The rescuer comes in. When they fire the arrow, the other person shoots a gun, which, if you've played The Last of Us, sound attracts the zombie things.
Obviously, that's a big game, and it is a first party, because I know how much the first game was good on the PlayStation 3, right? That came out.
It was on PlayStation 3, but honestly, it was a lot better on PlayStation 4, because PlayStation 4 could really open up the game a little bit more.
They're definitely going to promote this on the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Because, a big theme when they're not talking about the first-party titles, which they've been kind of good about that. They're probably going to be like, here's 4K, here's why the Pro is great, here's 4K, 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 4K.
And then with that, we'll segue into the last of the 4 games, which I'm not going to lie to you. When I first saw the trailer for Death Stranding...
Death Stranding, my bad. When I first saw the trailer for that, that's been, a year now? That was revealed at the VGAs, I think? I think it was almost 3 years now.
I just remember being confused out of my mind and wondering what the hell I'm looking at. And then we got another trailer, I think, at the VGAs.
Because that was the big controversy, because Hideo wasn't allowed there. And
yes, and then we got to see, I think, what seemed like guys were being attacked by invisible monsters, and...
They were being attacked, and Guillermo del Toro was holding a baby and was running into a tunnel.
Yes.
And then there was some sort of death soldier thing.
Yeah, because he looked normal, and then his face started burning off into like a skeleton, I think.
Yeah, and then the trailer ended. And then there's the third trailer, which is just them trying to show off kind of what the game might be about. And
yeah, because there were monsters, I think invisible monsters, and they had to be quiet, and if I got...
And then they were killing off the other people, but Norman was like, there's a baby, and... Okay, look, I'm gonna be entirely honest. I don't get this game.
Neither do I.
I don't want to get this game.
It's an action game, but we don't know anything.
And honestly, I think a lot of people are going to pick it up because it is a Hideo Kojima game. It's kind of one of those, like, there's always that one movie that everybody says they've watched, but they haven't watched because they just want to say, because they want to be a snob about it.
Oh, they want to fit in?
Yeah, you're just like, oh, well, you're like, oh, I watched The Godfather, but then there's always that one guy who's like, oh, The Godfather, I actually watched this, Italian independent film that everybody knows about, but, no one actually watched.
My thing is with the game is, I didn't know what was going on. Nothing they showed off made any sense to me, and even with the third trailer, which probably looks like it's running in-game, I still don't know what the game's about. I can only assume it's got something to do because I thought the guy was Sean Bean. I honestly thought he was Sean Bean when they first showed off that trailer where he was like naked on the freaking beach with a bunch of like dead sea animals. I was like, what is this?
No one will be seated for the Death Stranding part of the E3 PS4 section.
I don't know. I feel like this game is... Does the word avant-garde suit this very well.
I don't think it does, because it's like it's too forward leaning. I think it probably has a lot of philosophical undertones. It probably has a lot of surrealist. It's something that I would argue is fit more for like Adult Swim. You know, the way they do their comedy and things like that is this idea of just this entirely abstract style of certain things. Like that's what they've been recently kind of pushing. So I think that's more of where Hideo Kojima's coming from it, and he's just like, no, I have to put. I'll say it. He is Japan's answer to David Cage.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he's got a better track record.
Yeah, he at least has a little bit of a better track record.
For this game, I'm not interested at all. Like, I have no interest in learning anything else about it. That's not saying anything about anyone who wants to know about the game, and this definitely has to be the spot where you learn about it. And if you guys think it's coming out this year, there's no way in hell. There's no way in hell it's coming out in 2018. 2020, you might, just because...
No, you know what? It might be 2019. It might be this year. He's going to have to show something substantial at this E3, because...
I think out of all four of them, I think that one's going to get the most screen time, just because of how much weight Hideo commands in the game industry. I'm going to say that his game will probably be the last of the big four to talk about, because they'll probably give the most time to this game, because, again, it's a Hideo Kojima game, and that name does carry a lot of weight in the game industry. But other than that, they are going to reveal some other third-party games. They're also going to talk about maybe some other first-party games that aren't as big. I know they're doing a Medieval remaster, and that's an old franchise from the PlayStation 1 era. I think I remember playing the first game a long time ago on the PS1, but probably never getting that far. It was a weird game.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably put that out there. They'll probably show off Spyro Remastered. You know, outside of that, like, third-party stuff.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, it's something from Square. They have to show off Kingdom Hearts 3 with a release date.
Yes. That's if they don't do it in the Sony press event. But we'll talk about that in the third-party section.
Okay.
In the third-party video, we'll go into more detail about that.
Oh, sorry.
Because I imagine Square would want that to come from their press event.
They might not, because they might just want to get it out there.
But they're first. They're before...
Oh, okay, yeah. If they're
before Sony,
So they actually, they might, we should have said this, they might throw it on to Microsoft, because it is coming on a Microsoft console.
Yeah, but I think it's got more of a Sony pull behind it, just because of it's been a Sony exclusive for years.
They did what was it? It was last year. They did a big trailer for Microsoft first.
I don't remember that.
I thought I remember, because I was like, that's kind of weird. But either way, I mean...
Yeah, either way, but they've also got a couple... there are some leaks. They said there are a couple other nondescript first-party games that they are going to announce, and I couldn't imagine what they are. I mean, I know Sony's got some IPs, but most of their famous IPs, I think, are there. God of War already came out, and that's been met with critical acclaim.
You might get a God of War expansion, which I hope they do, but...
If they do, I guess, yeah, E3 would be the place, and at that point, it would be probably, like, down the line. I personally, this is my own personal wish, and I know it will never come true no matter how hard I want it, but I want it so bad. I want them to either make a Legends of Dragoon remake or remaster. Either or for the PlayStation 4, I don't care which, and I will buy it. That is my ultimate wish, and I know it will never happen, but I will never stop wishing for that game, because that game is underrated.
You don't think it's going to happen? Think again! And they throw it out there.
I would literally lose my shit if that happened. No lies.
I'm trying to think of what else they might throw out there. I mean, they'll probably have a lot of the stuff that happened beforehand, like...
Gran Turismo?
Maybe. I mean, from a first party they might, but I was saying, like, third party, that might just, like, show whatever any of the other third parties show off, or...
Devil May Cry 5, how could I forget that? I guarantee you, Devil May Cry 5 will probably be revealed at the Sony press event. Only because, even if it does come to the Xbox 360, again, Capcom's got a pretty good relationship with Sony, thanks to,
they might show,
Street Fighter.
Yeah, I was gonna say they might show something off for Street Fighter.
And and like we've said before, Devil May Cry also has its history on the PlayStation. Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3 all came out on the PlayStation 2. Devil May Cry 4 came out on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and it came out on the PlayStation 4 about 2 years ago as the special edition, which they've even said was, I think, a testing ground for how they wanted to do Devil May Cry 5. And it was rumored that it was supposed to show up at the PlayStation Experience, conference, but they pushed it back to E3 because they wanted to have more impact at E3, which I think is a good idea. So essentially, we're probably going to get a Devil May Cry 5 announcement, which I really hope is the case. And I hope when they show it off, that it's not just a trailer. I actually want it to have some gameplay in it. Like, I want it to be like, hopefully, a 3-minute trailer with at least 20 seconds of gameplay.
You know, it'd be a hilarious jab. I would absolutely love it. It'd be I would definitely pick it up. I'd be like, pre-order the collector's edition. It's a teaser trailer. You just see Dante standing there. He gets like mud or something like that on his hair, and it's black. He looks in the mirror. He goes, "Oh God, no!" And then he just cleans it right off.
But if we're going to talk about Devil May Cry 5, I'm probably going to
save
on.
that for the
yeah, we'll probably save that for the third party. But either way, if it is going to be revealed, it's probably going to be revealed at the Sony press conference.
Let's be honest, Sony's probably helping them with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
They really like Capcom.
They really do. I think that's going to do it for Sony, only because, unlike Microsoft, we do know that they are talking about 4 titles that are probably going to take up the most of the show, like we said. Unless
there was 2 things. Because there's the Vita.
Yes.
So they're probably going to address whatever's happening with the Vita. I don't think they're going to kill it outright. They're probably just going to be like, no, we're still supporting the Vita, but they're probably not going to explain exactly how.
I think with the Vita, they're going to phase it out. I think the first steps of, like, the phasing of the Vita out. I know it hasn't sold well over here in the West. I know in Japan, I think it's actually outbeat the 3DS, but now with the Switch, I think the Switch is outbeating it now.
Yeah. Other than the Vita, there was they were suggesting that the PS5 might be on the horizon.
Yes, I read that too.
So I think they dashed those on the rocks. They said, yeah, no, we're not.
They said, I think the CEO said not for at least another 3 years. So 2020, he said, is probably the earliest they would show off the PlayStation 5, which I'm okay with because I don't mind having my PlayStation 4 for another 3 years before I have to upgrade.
I feel like it only just now started getting into its stride. It hasn't really hit too much of the technical issues, so I don't see a reason why to go to the PS5, to be honest.
Not yet. That's why I think I agree. Like maybe 2020.
If they create a game that literally breaks it, yeah, go for it. Go to the next one. I think the only thing right now, the biggest gripe I have with it is the fact that on the PlayStation Pro at least, you have to choose between frame rate and resolution in certain games. So like in Monster Hunter World, that was a thing. In God of War, that was a thing. I think that's the only thing that's slowly but surely gonna start, picking away and needling at the possibility of needing the next gen. But I don't want to see the next gen yet.
Yeah, I'm not in a huge hurry just yet. I'm perfectly fine with my PlayStation 4 that I have right now.
Yeah, I'd rather them actually get some good things out, because while there's been alright titles, there hasn't really been anything to really oh my god, that's the signature of the PS4's era, except for maybe God of War.
Yeah, I think God of War might be that. With that aside, guys, I think we're gonna call it an end for this video, because unlike we said in Microsoft, Sony has already talked about that they're gonna at least focus on 4 main titles for this event, with some intermediate titles and third-party reveals scattered in between.
Probably some indie stuff, but
some indie stuff probably, and maybe something about the Vita, but mostly we can expect probably the main focus to be those 4 games. And if it's an hour long, I'm gonna say they'll probably give 20 minutes to each, and probably in the
not even 20 minutes.
Not even 20, like
I would
15?
say I don't even think 15. I think it depends on what the title is and what they want to deal with. Because remember, they have to they have to give time to certain things. So whatever they think is the most pressing, they'll give the most time. Hideo Kojima, as much as I don't like it, he might get 10 minutes.
Yeah, he might get the most out of all of the games.
You probably will get at least 5 to 8 minutes on the other titles.
Yeah, I could see probably The Last of Us getting the second most attention.
Yeah. They'll probably get 9 minutes dedicated to it, because it'll probably be a 5-minute trailer and then 3 minutes talking about it, 4 minutes talking about it, or them doing a live demo. That'll probably be 10, maybe 15 minutes at most.
Obviously, if they're going to focus on these 4 titles, they want to show off as much as they can, and everything that's in between is probably just going to get maybe a minute or 2-minute trailer and maybe a release date at the end of the trailer.
Spider-Man's probably going to get a 10-minute thing, because they're probably going to show off more of the gameplay, actually take you through a a whole level, or, you know, have you free roam for a little bit and then deal with something, you know, kind of a stage demo kind of thing. And that'll probably take, again, I would say at most like 8 minutes.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But that's going to do it for the Sony video, guys. This one's a little longer just because we had a lot more to talk about, and it is a console we truly enjoy. Next up will be Nintendo, though, and they're going to be interesting because they've got a couple games that a lot of people are interested. They haven't talked about a lot of games either that people are looking forward to and are still titled to come out this year. I'm looking at you, Fire Emblem. I want my Fire Emblem.
We can talk about that next time, though.
We can talk about that next time. Guys, I want to thank you very much. Please feel free to leave us comments in the section letting us know what you think is going to happen at the Sony press conference. What games do you think they are going to release? What dreams do you think they're going to have? Because I still hold on that Legends of the Dragoon remake and remaster will happen one day, even if I'm the only guy who wants it. Other than that, guys, I want you all to have a great day. And remember, let's rock! Just die! I hate you so much!